Hello, everyone. Oh, wait, let me fix this up a bit. There we go. How are you guys? I hope you're having an amazing Wednesday or whatever day that you might be rewatching this. My name is David. I appear on social media as Camino el Ermitaño, which translates to the Hermit's Path. A title that has been with me since 2019 that I wrote a little script when I was back in film school, and it is a title that just resonates very deeply with me as a Virgo, and the Hermit being the card of Virgo. I definitely feel like a hermit myself, and well, that is kind of what I do. I think about stuff a bit too deeply and I do tarot readings. I've been doing tarot readings for a long time now. I started doing tarot readings when I was at the age of 13. It was just something I was very curious about, things regarding magic and witchcraft. It just felt kind of like this fantasy thing, and to realize that it is an actual practice, that there is a lot of validity, how do you say that, to these practices and to divination. It really changed my life, and so I've been doing this for many years now, and professionally I've been doing it since 2020, since COVID. That means charging for my readings, and I've been doing lives on TikTok for well over a year now, and it has become, my main source of income, and it has become my main job. I am just a tarot reader. That is what I do mainly in my life. Hey Alex, so good to see you here. How are you doing, love? So nice to see you here. And the topic of today's live is kind of like a forecast for the air signs for the month of May. That means Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Either if you have this in your sun, moon, or rising, it does not matter. It's kind of like, maybe you could just kind of like translate it to how it can affect you. It will probably affect you in some sense. And as always, we're going to start off in order with Gemini. If you're rewatching this, or if you're seeing it a bit later, you could see the links here down below where I have the timestamps. Not right now, because right now we're live. But if you're rewatching it, the timestamps are below. And also you can find the link to my Ko-Fi shop where you can get a private reading with me, or also just an email reading, I like to call it, but it's just like a voice note reading. I'm doing great, Alex. Thank you so much for asking. Very excited to be back on here and to start creating these videos. Okay, let's begin with Gemini. What do we see for Gemini during this May 2026? Do you have any air signs in your chart, Alex? What is the energy that Gemini is stepping into May? Okay. What obstacles do we see for Gemini during the month of May? What topics do we see regarding love for Gemini placements during this month? What about career and finances for Gemini placements? Some guidance for Gemini placements during this month. And then we have the final outcome. Here we go. So here we begin Gemini with the Eight of Swords in its reversal position. This card is kind of the energy that you are stepping into for this month. And in this reverse position, I can kind of feel and visualize these swords starting to fall. In this position, I just see the swords of the Eight of Swords starting to fall off. That means all those fears and all those insecurities and kind of like all this mental yapping and chatter that you had in the back of your head, I kind of see it fading. I see kind of like these concepts that were kind of like creating these limiting beliefs for you, Gemini, are falling away, are fading. It feels like the month of May, it's like you're going to be taking a blindfold off and you're going to see things as they are. not how you think they are. You know, you're ruled by Mercury, Gemini, so you have a very hyperactive mind, and sometimes you can create false narratives in your head, but I feel that those false narratives are definitely fading into the background, and it's like you're finally stepping into your freedom. And the topic of freedom, the topic of liberty, the topic of empowerment is one of the main topics for you during this month. I do see that in this reading of also learning to slow down, of also learning to check in with yourself. That's not always about go, 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 go. You also need to take a rest, Gemini. And I know that is very complicated for Gemini sometimes. They really thrive in kind of like high activities or searching for distractions. 11 house in Libra. Okay, wait. My 11 cups is in the, oh, my 11 house, but mostly fire and water. Oh, very emotional, Alex. Wait, let me fix this a bit. I think it's a bit too high up there. Very, because I feel both water and fire signs are very emotional. And anyways, back to you, Gemini. Here we see what are the obstacles, and talking about emotions, it's your emotions. Here we have the moon card, Gemini. And with this moon card, I think it's that. I think it's giving importance to your intuition, giving importance to kind of like that gut feeling. You know, maybe you were over rationalizing, maybe you're looking at matters too practically, and now it is time to listen to the body. What is this temple asking of you? Has it been too much? Has it been too much moving, too much action? And you need a bit of rest, you need a bit of stillness to reconnect with your essence, to reconnect with that essential part of your being. I think it's, you know, trusting your instinct. And sometimes I feel that maybe you've been suppressing your instinct for a bit. You've been kind of just like trying to, overthink things, over rationalize things, but now it is a moment of really reconnecting with that instinct, with that intuition, of giving importance to those emotions. I know that emotions can dwindle. Emotions are kind of like this path that feels a bit uncertain, that can sometimes place us in kind of uncomfortable situations, Gemini. But your emotions this month is here to make you see something a bit more clear. So in this case, Gemini, I really recommend trusting your gut feeling, trusting your instincts, but that is the obstacle. Are you capable of trusting yourself? And so, regarding love, romance, and these fantastic topics, Gemini, we see the Queen of Pentacles. This queen talks about comfort overall. If you are in a relationship, Gemini, I would say that you're going to feel very comfortable in your relationship. It feels kind of like this moment in your relationship when things are kind of like falling into place. You just, you've grown to a routine with your partner. This routine feels safe. This routine feels comfortable between the two of you. And it's definitely kind of like, reaching this place in your relationship where you feel fed, you feel nurtured, and you're also kind of like stepping into this nurturing energy, learning to check up with your partner, learning to see if they are doing well. I don't know, it's like this very nurturing energy. And if you are a single Gemini placement, I definitely see kind of like you giving priority to your own well-being, learning to nurture yourself and knowing how important that your nurture is, that I think you're probably going to meet someone not so soon, probably more at the end of May, or you're going to meet someone that's going to remind you of how important it is to, to nurture yourself, to make yourself feel good. If it's getting a haircut, going to getting a massage, like really re-embodying your body and feeling pleasure in your body without needing kind of like that external validation. Because once again, as I mentioned before, the topic of freedom, liberty is quite important, but I feel like you're magnetic. So if you're single, put yourself out there, maybe it's not going to the club. Maybe going to the club is not your thing, Gemini, though. I think Geminis do like a little party. At least my Gemini friends do like to party a lot. But if maybe that's not the case, then, take a workshop, something where you can be surrounded by people. And you're going to sense that magnetism during the month of May. And well, because May, some of you, Taurus and then Gemini, some of you have your birthday during May. I know my father does, and my father's also a Gemini. And now regarding finances or career or job, here we have the Hangman. This is not particularly negative. It is kind of like, the Hangman is a sense of stillness. So I just don't think much things will be happening in this regard. Things might feel a bit stuck if you own a company, if you have, a business. Like, it doesn't mean that's going bad. It just doesn't, you don't really see that forward movement in your career. But that's not bad. Like, there is like this false sense that we're always, climbing this ladder, the career ladder, or that our business should always be making more, 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 and more. I don't think that's the rhythm of life. If we just look out into nature, we realize that there are, moments for warmth in summer, like, so, let's say spring right now, where things are, blooming, and it's just like so fertile, and, all the flowers are just, shining, and the trees are growing their leaves. But then summer, it kind of like stays very green. Then comes autumn and starts dying out. There are certain rhythms, and I feel that I don't see much movement, at least regarding topics of finance and career, but that's completely fine. It is maybe a moment to, nurture yourself, give importance to your emotional well-being. And what guidance do we have? Here we have the Knight of Pentacles. For me, the Knight of Pentacles is about giving importance to your own individuality, to your own freedom, doing things by yourself. And I think Geminis are very independent and very good at doing things by themselves. And this gives you a sense of security, that you don't need someone to enjoy something. You don't need someone to enjoy a movie, to enjoy a restaurant. I think you're very wise, and you've built kind of like this sense of, like this life that you've built has been, done through all of your efforts, Gemini. So really enjoy yourself, treat yourself during this month. Party, party. Yes, Alex, but it's true. I feel like one of the most party people I've met have been Geminis and like fire signs as well. Oh no, I ran out of water. That's gonna be an issue for me later. I wonder if I have water in my other thing. Anyways, let's finish off with Gemini. Gemini. So the final outcome is the Ace of Swords. This, I see it kind of like go full circle with this Eight of Swords in its reversal position. I do feel that the final outcome of May, it is about learning ways to silence that mind and know that even though you're very intelligent, Gemini, and you make very good decisions, it is also good to sometimes just trust your instinct, trust your intuition. Sometimes the mind is very easy to confuse and influence. And right now, it is about looking within. It is about understanding your will, about understanding your essence and what it's asking of you. Right now, it is more about that it's, like that essence of your being and what it wants to communicate, and really listening to your body, about really listening to yourself, and not just kind of like these external influences or these external pushes that you might be getting. So I think by the end of the month, you're going to realize the importance that is to sometimes slow down and just create more space for the body, for yourself, for kind of like really reconnecting with yourself. Anyways, Gemini, I hope you have a blessed May. Happy birthday to those who have a birthday, Gemini, during the month of May. What was I going to say? If this message resonated with you and you'd like maybe a more in-depth reading, you can check those out in the link below, and leave a comment or subscribe. That is enough. If you like this video, if you subscribe, you're helping me a bunch. And thank you so much for watching Gemini placements. Now we're gonna go with Libra. So true. Yes, Gemini and fire signs like to party. Yes, I really do. Also Libra. Talking about Libra, I feel that Libras are very social, but sometimes that social bug that Libra has can manifest very differently. It doesn't always mean that they are party. But for me, Aries and Libra and Gemini have been one of the biggest, and I just don't hang out much with Sagittarius, to be honest. Even though my mom is a Sagittarius, and like for example, she likes to party, like she likes to dance. Okay, Libra. If you have any Libra placements, this message is for you. Let's see, what information do we have for Libra for the month of May? Okay, Libra. Let's see, what energy are you stepping into the month of May with? Three of Pentacles. What obstacles do we see for Libra during the month of May 2026? The Nine of Wands in its reversal position. What things do we see regarding love for Libra during the month of May? Ten of Wands in its reversal position. What about career and finances for Libra? We have the Four of Cups. And finally, well, no, not finally, sorry. And what guidance do we have? Overall guidance, the Temperance card in its reversal position, and final outcome during this month for Libra, May 2026. What do we have here? What are we getting here? The Five of Swords. Oh my God, Libra. So nice with the Sagittarius mom and Gemini dad. Yes, but it's funny. But then my brother's a Taurus and I'm a Virgo, and then they have two Earth signs as children, and I'm very earthy because I'm also a Taurus moon. Libra. Okay, before this, I'm just getting like this message that I really want to get out there. Libra, it's so important for you to get in tune with your anger, and it doesn't mean that you're not. I feel that some Libras definitely know how to express their anger, but I also feel that Libras are people pleasers, and this I feel like this month you need to discharge some of this anger. Maybe it is through healthy mechanisms. Like I, for example, there was a period that I was very, very angry, so I had like a boxing kind of like gym I used to go to, and that was so good. That was so healing. Maybe that can work out for you, Libra. But I'm definitely getting this sensation of you need to alchemize. You need to transform a lot of heaviness, a lot of emotions, a lot of like things, and it is better to alchemize that through a sport, through physical movement, than maybe just, bashing out on your partner or your friends or family. I think that's a way more healthy way, but definitely try to connect with your anger during this month of May. Libra. Yes, lots of Taurus energy, my brother and I. Okay, let's begin in order. So Libra, here we have what's the energy that you're stepping into the month of May. And we have the Three of Pentacles. It's a very good, it's like, I think you're stepping in with like a project in mind, with something that you want to build, and there's other people who are interested to help you in this. I definitely see you surrounded by people who believe in you, Libra, and you obviously believe in yourself too. And you really want to build on this project. You really want to build on either if it's like a personal brand or like a personal project you really wanted to do, or maybe a project within your career. I feel that you're really going to be kind of like guiding this, directing this new project, and I feel that's very exciting for you. I think you have a really good way with words, a really good way of, understanding the needs of people. I also feel that Libra can be very empathetic, can be very sensitive. For me, it's one of the more sensitive air signs in my case, from my experience. They tend to be very in tune with their emotions. They are ruled by Venus. You guys are ruled by Venus, which is kind of like that extra sensitivity when talking, when communicating. Lots of Libras that are empaths, I feel. And I feel that really helps you, I was gonna say control the crowd. If that resonates, then let it be. If not, then really know how to navigate conversations and use social moments. So I see you stepping in with that project, Libra. And I feel that one of the obstacles that you will be facing, Libra, during the month of May is, you know, maybe you have too much things right now. Maybe you're trying to do too much, and that can be very tiring. That can leave you very tired. It's like some projects you have or some things are still pending. It's like you haven't given full closure to a few things, and you have this new idea and you have this new project and this new thing that you want to get in motion. And I think there's definitely like the sense of try to close off as many things as you can so you can really help give space to this project. And with it, it's also like the obstacle of not frustrating yourself if things are not working precisely how you wanted them to, Libra. I feel that that isn't like definitely an obstacle. Some things are not going to go precisely how you wanted them to, but it is about alchemizing. If this frustrates you, find a different way to transform this frustration and possibly not taking it on others. And also, don't give up. Don't give up, Libra. I know it could feel frustrating. I know it could feel, a bit, how can I say? Oh my God, I don't have the whole live chat. Or do I? No, I didn't. Okay. Sorry, got a bit distracted there. Um, but what was I saying? Gosh, I completely lost my train of thought. Oopsie. Anyways, but what I was saying is that I don't know. I feel that if one thing doesn't go well, it does not mean that the rest of the things are not going to go well, Libra. Have a bit of patience with yourself. And regarding your relationships and regarding love, Libra, here we have the Ten of Wands in its reversal position. I think that this month, if you are in a relationship, Libra, I feel that maybe, your partner can be a really good place for finding tranquility and for trusting them to help you out, with some of the weight. You don't have to carry all the weight, and maybe they can help you with that. And also know that you cannot make yourself responsible for, how your partner reacts to everything, but just go towards them with a sense of lightheartedness. And if you need help, they'll be very willing to help and take a bit of weight off your shoulder. And if you are a single Libra placement, I feel that this month, um, definitely, it's kind of like giving dating vibes. I think you will be like meeting people, but I think like, take this space of dating and this in the month of May to go on a few dates, with a light heart, with not that much expectations. I think it's just good to think, I want to go have fun tonight. I want to meet someone and just have fun. And if you go with that energy, it can really be a space for joy. I think it's very important to not take dating so serious and just go into dates with a desire of just wanting to meet someone, of just wanting to have some fun. And I feel like that definitely will take a bit of that weight off your mind and just make it an overall good experience for you, Libra. And then regarding career or finances, here we have the Four of Cups. I see it very stable. I think a new opportunity is arising, but maybe you already have a project in mind, or maybe this is the project a project that will be offered to you, Libra. I feel like accept it, I know that you're looking at the other things that you're doing, but accept this project that might be offered to you during the month of May. Maybe even if it doesn't seem like something that will give you any financial growth, at least like this project will be a great space for you to connect with your inner child, to connect with your inner creative. Libras are super creative. Libras are super in tune with art and the arts, and maybe this little creative expression or this, side dish of creative expression is very necessary for you to kind of like grow professionally. It can definitely lead into some professional growth, and I just feel anything that we learn helps us become better people at our jobs, or just overall better humans. And some guidance here. We have the Temperance card. Again, this is the topic. Temperance card is reversal. It is about alchemizing our emotions, whether they're anger, frustration, sadness. Find means and mediums through which you can express your emotions, through which you can transform the things that you've been feeling into something positive. I know that you are capable, but just don't stay, don't hush those feelings. Don't swallow all those emotions, express them. And a final message for you, Libra signs. Oh my god, I think the signal is going a bit bad. Okay, I hope it's still working. Anyways, Libra, one final message for you guys is the Five of Swords, which is kind of like the final outcome. And this is about learning to choose your battles, and that's the thing of like not wasting your energy on, picking every battle or investing yourself emotionally into every discussion or things like that. Sometimes silence is a great answer. If it's really triggering you, if it's really kind of like, it's really boiling up and you're feeling like, you have all this anger, I think it's best to stay silent and then find a different means of expression. Because Libra, even though you're very soft and very nice, you can also be very hurtful with your word at times. So really learn to pick your fights during this month. Find different ways so you can release a bit of that steam and anger. And I think that can definitely help, regarding your relationships and connections, Libra. Anyways, Libra, I hope these messages resonated with you. And if you like a more in-depth reading, you can check the link below and get a reading with me through my Ko-Fi shop. Or if it just resonated, you can give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you here in the rest of the readings I'll be doing on these lives. Sorry guys, but the yapping gets me really thirsty. And now we will be going with the infamous Aquarius. Here we go, Aquarius. We're going to look at what energy is coming for you during the month of May 2026 for any Aquarius placement, whether that is Moon, Sun, Rising, Mercury, Venus. These messages are for you. Why are you laughing? Because I said infamous? Just kidding, Aquarius. Or am I? I'm not too sure. Okay, what energy is Aquarius stepping into the month of May? What is the energy that Aquarius is stepping into during the month of May? What are some obstacles that might appear during this month, Aquarius? What can we see regarding love and relationships for Aquarius? I have 11 house placements though, so I do have some Aquarius in me as well. What can we see regarding career and finances for Aquarius? Okay. And what guidance do we have? I actually have Venus and Mars in my 11th house, and they are conjunct in my 11th house. And what is the final outcome for Aquarius during May? Ooh, that's nice. Very nice, Aquarius. Okay, May. Okay, May. Okay, Aquarius. Cool with 11th house placements. Venus Mars conjunction. Nice. I don't know how that really manifests. I don't know if it's too nice, but it's okay. I've learned to deal with it. Okay, Aquarius, let's begin. So, Aquarius, I'm seeing you entering the month of May feeling a bit introverted. Kind of like, like your social battery is kind of like on the floor. It's kind of like not really out there, and you're kind of like trying to recharge. You're trying to like rebalance yourself. It just feels that what has come of the year has left you feeling a bit overwhelmed, feeling a bit tired, kind of like oof, kind of like incapable of like very intense social interactions, and that's completely fine. I feel that this month of May will definitely be kind of like your social battery will definitely recharge. But know that this is normal. It's normal to feel tired. It's normal to feel a bit isolated and like incapable of sharing with others. Right now, you're kind of like stepping into May, knowing that you need to feed to yourself. Give yourself the things that you need. Maybe some quiet walks around the forest. Maybe some naps in the afternoon. What are those things that really give you a sense of rest? I know it's completely different for all of us, but really try to, how can I say this? Prioritize the sense of trying to recharge with yourself. And for like what can we see as like obstacles for this month is the Queen of Cups in its reversal position. I feel that kind of like a sense of that's like the thing. I don't know. It's giving me. There's like this thing which I say, which is called emotional constipation, and I kind of see that for you, Aquarius. It's like there's like these emotions, kind of like these. How can I call them? Like, um, subterranean emotions, subterranean waters that are there below you, and it's like these emotions that are kind of like they're like there in the back of your subconscious, in the back of your head, kind of like dwindling, but it like they don't come to the surface. And I think you've really repressed a lot of emotions, and I think it's really creating space for them. It's really creating a space to sit with them, and I feel like that would be like an obstacle, and that can be a place from where your anxiety is coming from, because it feels that you are not how can I say this, that you're not prioritizing your emotional well-being. Maybe this might require a bit of therapy, or a bit of therapeutic movement, therapeutic art, or doing art therapy. Yes, I'm really feeling art therapy for you, Aquarius placements during the month of May. Regarding romance, relationships, and love, we have the Page of Cups. So this is a really nice card. This is stepping into love with a space of curiosity. If you are single, I'm getting this very strong feeling, Aquarius placements, that if you're single, you're going to meet someone very interesting, someone very artsy that's going to help you kind of get in tune with those emotions and find different ways and different mechanisms to get in tune with things that you've suppressed. And art is the biggest space for us to bring out our subconscious, to bring out those topics, those emotions that we've been putting off for some time. And I think that this person, this very artistic person, very sensitive, very curious, very fun, is kind of like bring that spark in you and recharge that social battery. And it's someone that doesn't feel overbearing or overwhelming. They just feel to recharge you with a sense of curiosity, with a sense of wanting to explore, wanting to express, wanting to get in tune with, like this deeper part of you, Aquarius. Regarding what finances and work, here I see you very calculated, Queen of Swords. I feel that regarding work, you're going to be in a good position. People, I definitely see that if there was a situation in the past that was bothering you, you're going to kind of like end up in the better position of it all. If maybe there was someone that was being a bit rude at work, either they're going to shut up or just not be, pushing that topic anymore. But I see you, showing up in work more empowered, more in your energy, not letting yourself bring down, being very assertive with your communication, and just like people looking up to you, you're very bright, you're very capable, you know how to say things and communicate what you need in work. And I think this is definitely an asset that, in your work, in your career, is very important. And I think you will feel seen. The queen receives this attention, receives this positive attention, and guides the attention in a very healthy and effective way. And now we're gonna look at like what guidance or like kind of like what tips do we have for Aquarius during the month of May. Here we have the Knight of Wands in its reversal position. Don't, forget about this. How can I call this? This. What's the word? Like this impulsiveness that you have, Aquarius. I think maybe you've been too calculated. Do something impulsive during the month of May. Do something that reconnects you with your inner child. Go out for a run in the rain. Do something kind of like that breaks you out of that square mindset. Because I know that you guys are, you're ruled by Uranus. You're kind of like that breaker of structures. You can be unexpected. You never know what to expect from an Aquarius, but I think that you have really limited yourself and just like kind of like created this box for you. Reconnect with your inner child. I think that person that you will be meeting is definitely going to help you in that, or your partner will be helping you kind of like step out of that and reconnect with your emotions, but also with your friends. Maybe take a random class of something. I don't know, like a sushi rolling class. Do something out of the box, very different, very something that you've never done before. It's definitely some guidance that I see for you, Aquarius placement. And we see this beautiful final outcome, which is the Ten of Cups. I definitely see you at the end of the month feeling more satisfied, more recharged, wanting to spend time, wanting to socialize, wanting to build community, being with family, with partners, with friends. It is like this great sense of joy, and I feel that it's like you're gonna end the month feeling more recharged, feeling emotionally, like your heart could kind of burst and just feels very grateful for everything that happened. You feel very grateful for the people that are surrounding you, and for you, community is so important, Aquarius. It's normal that sometimes we're being in our hermit mode, but we always have to go back to community, to socializing. It is through people that we realize that we're not going insane. They keep us sane. Being with people really does keep us sane, even if sometimes there is friction. It is through friction that we expand, that we grow, that we get to learn more about ourselves, Aquarius. So overall, May is going to end up being a very good month for you that really recharges you doing different things. Anyways, Aquarius, I hope this message resonated for you. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe, and if you're interested in getting a reading with me, you can check the link below, my Ko-Fi shop, my other readings, or my other social media accounts if you want to get in contact with me. Love the sushi rolling class, right, Alex? I actually want one of those. I don't know how to make sushi. And those were the air signs. I hope they all resonated with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this live. How is your night going, Alex? Thank you for being here again. Though I think something I really want to learn to do now is kind of like pizza. But my partner, he does pizza, a lot of pizzas, but I wanna, but he's very crazy about his pizza, so I never get into the kitchen when they're doing that. But maybe want to learn, or maybe making pasta and things of that nature. But also sushi, why not? That sounds very interesting. Aw, that's so nice. What are you snacking on? I had a very today my I don't know, like I had a very good breakfast, and then I had my Italian class, and then I went live, and then after that I was very hungry, but I wanted to go to the gym, so I just made myself like a tuna sandwich, which that for me is not lunch, and then I came back quite late, and then I had like lunch around like 7 p.m. And that was really filling, so I had a really late dinner today. Pasta and pizza. Thank you for the invite. Is that what you're having? Is that your snacks? Oreo and chocolate sounds nice with Italian class. I eat Oreo and chocolate now. Oh, that's nice. I don't eat much sweets before at night because I feel they might activate me. But lately, I've been working so much that I have not been having problems, going to sleep. Thank God, because normally I do have a lot of issues going to sleep. But lately, that has not been a problem. But yeah, that looks good. That sounds good. I need to buy some chocolate. I already ran out of chocolate. Right now, the only thing that I have is these digestive oat kind of like cookies. They're really good, though. But I want like some pure chocolate. But Oreos are also super nice. I remember I used to be addicted to Oreo. Oh, take care. Yes, I am taking care though. My sleep has been good. And I've been enjoying the work. I've been very happy, with all of the activities and all of the lives and editing the YouTube video. I don't know. It really kind of like scratches this creative itch that I have at times. Well, anyways, thank you so much, Alex, for being here. I'm so grateful for your presence and for all of those who watched the live. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope to see you tomorrow for the water signs. Tomorrow we'll be looking at Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So I hope to see you there. If you have water placements, maybe tomorrow they can resonate a lot more deeper with you. Thank you so much, Alex. Hope to see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful night, and I hope you have a restful sleep, an amazing day tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone.